Fits it short, sneaks through.
The estimated SOS is 2,181.
Playoff race at Charlotte. Ooh, good thing I checked that.
Back at Charlotte Motor Speedway for race 1 of the Noble Racing Series playoffs. Let's take a look at our starting grid on the pole position with a lap time of
Been a while since I've raced, but I think I got it.
29 seconds. It's a 3:15. That S4 guy, Zach Millen, outside front row. It's Keaton Burnett, the number 26. Missed it by 47 thousandths of a second. Starting in row 3, Vincent Short. A great lap time for the 15. Brian McCann will roll off from P4. Starting 5th, it's the 39 with Right Turn Racing. It's Michael Tucker outside.
18 cars.
It's the 83 Charity Motorsports machine.
Not a big turnout.
Matt Sisler, the number 93, will start 7th. Shane Haas will start 8th. Chris Goins, the number 41, starts in the 9th position. Chris Elliott, 10th. Drew Prail starting in the 11th spot with Joe Tucker in the number 13 with Hostel in 10th Gaming, rolling off from the 12th starting position. Starting 13th, tough break in qualifying for the 2 of Neil Quick. Keep an eye on him here tonight. He is certainly not going to finish back in that position. He will be towards the front before this one's over. Jesse Redding, the number 21 HBR driver, will start 14th. Larry Bruner starts 15th. Brian Rose back in action here in the number 89 machine. He'll start 16th. Doug Whitesaki starting 17th. And Eddie Rose, shown at 19th, he'll start in the 18th position as Tom Stanley with Full Send Racing. He is actually here as a race administrator here tonight, not participating in the race events themselves. That's your starting grid from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Field going to roll here momentarily. One pace lap before we see the green flag for 120 laps the race distance. Stage break coming at the completion of lap 40. Again, 2 sets of tires available over the wall for these drivers. Full fuel load at 100%.
Stage at 40.
I did not have any conversations with any of the drivers in the garage area pre-race about what the fuel window is going to look like. But typically in the Noble Racing Series, we see that the fuel is calculated out to go just about 40 laps or whatever the stage distance is. We don't want to make these guys have to pit prior to the stage break, but
yeah, we can make the stage. It's like 45 laps.
In that second stage.
The pace car is in. Green flag.
Well, we got a bunch of people here in the stream chat.
They ain't going.
Appreciate that. Who do you think is going to win tonight? Now, don't just give me who you want to win. We know who you want to win, especially if you're...
It's going to be slick right here.
It's making that very obvious. But who's your pick tonight?
Hey, thanks for the like.
All you know about iRacing, this series, this league.
I think that's at Charles.
You're really for that flag here tonight. Let us know.
Yeah, one inside.
Talk about it.
2 wide there. Say hi. Still there. All clear, all clear.
All right, single file, that's what I want.
You're in 3rd place.
Green flag is in the air. We're racing from Charlotte.
Hey, Ken, thanks.
Millet with a big jump on the start. Carries the lead down into turn 3, about 1/3 of a second. Back to Keaton Burnett, now 1/4 second. Miller time says Chris Mathis. Lap 1 in the...
Keaton in front of me is already chasing it up the hill.
Burnett, Brian McCann. Some of you old Superior Class auto racing fans may remember the name Chris Mathis, and I'll tell you, if he was here right now, he'd certainly be in contention.
Single file. Pit road is closed.
It's the right rear track.
Pete Burnett, though, reels in Zach Millett pretty quickly here. The end of lap 2. Drove it deep into turns 3 and 4. Oh, real loose off of 4. Keaton saves it.
Broadcast is big delay.
All that drifting he does in practice. Able to maintain control of the car even when it steps out on him in the middle of turn 4. Steps out again on the exit of 2. Chases it up the racetrack. Maintains his position in behind the 315. Top 3 start to scoot away from the rest of the pack. It's Millett, Keaton Burnett, Brian McCann. Your top 3, and the caution is out. Chris Goins involved in this one. Joe Tucker gets a very light piece of it after the fact. We think it's after the fact.
I didn't see the wreck.
Here with the 41 and possibly the 13. They were both racing together at the time. Oh, yeah.
Got him on entry of the turn.
Corral, Joe Tucker. A lot
Lap
of these guys are
2 or 3.
That's a tough break for RTR. Chris Goins, an HBR driver these days. We'll watch it one more time here. I'll slow things down. Now you'll watch the 13, that white and purple machine. That's Joe Tucker. Ahead of him, the 41. That's going to be Chris Goins in the Popple Pro machine. Goins lets up to get into the corner, and it looks like it surprises Joe Tucker. Joe tries to go wide to avoid contact, but still gets into Chris anyway. Both drivers go around. You see the 29 of Chris Elliott is going to come in here and get collected. So is Drew Prale. Neil Quick and Jesse Redding on the bottom. They're going to scoot by. Try and watch it from Joe's perspective in the in-car camera. This is on board with Joe Tucker.
Hopefully it doesn't turn into a caution race. We only got 18 cars, so shouldn't.
He knew he was coming in there, and he was trying to go around the outside, but just couldn't get up top in that way high line there to avoid contact with the 41. You can try and lift there, but the rear end is so light. He was already off the gas for the corner anyway. If you try to jump on the brakes, you're going to spin yourself out as it is, just trying to avoid, and then who knows who's going to hit you from behind. I think Joe Tucker was kind of in a no-win situation there. So first caution of the night. Millett still leads. Keaton Burnett, Brian McCann, Michael Tucker, Vincent Short, your top 5. Brandon Mefford, Matt Sisler, Shane Haas, Neil Quick, and Jesse Redding, your top 10. Now, Neil Quick up 4 positions. We talked about his qualifying position. We saw him in qualifying have an incident, not so much a huge one, but got loose, looks like on the exit of turn 2 on his first lap. Saved it, but it cost him some time. He was able to get a lap in officially there. Lap 2 went after.
He's talking about Neil's qualifying run.
Same part of the racetrack, lost the car again.
I screwed up qualifying myself.
Did get the safer barrier, so invalidated the lap. Resulted in Neil Quick starting.
Come off of turn 4, coming to the hot lap, and
Field.
rear end of the car had other ideas.
But as we said, it wouldn't take long. He's already up into the top 10.
But I just powered through it and lost like
Quick,
several,
genuine draft
not several, but
this week.
2/10.
Now next week, we go to Talladega Super Speedway, and that's going to be the 14th of January, then the 21st, Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the oval, thank goodness.
Indy, I like Indy. That was fun. What was it, last week?
All right, man,
January
we're
the
going green
28th,
next time by.
Watkins
All right, man,
Glen.
line up on the inside row.
Only road course in the playoffs. Then we go to Kansas on February 4th. The 11th, we're at Phoenix. And then the final round will be at
Watkins Glen was all right.
Speedway on February the 25th. Round out the Noble Bowl Racing Series season.
Let's get these tires good and cold and
The iRacing pace car
do it again.
one to go signal as we cross the stripe. There it is. Pace car lights extinguish. Next time by, we'll be racing once again.
Outside line's going to have the advantage.
Pulling up.
But the 26 didn't go last time off the start, so
Joe Tucker did lose a lap.
if I can stay on Zach's bumper here, I might get around to 26
But he is the first car one lap down.
before turn 3.
Position. Well, nobody else loses a lap. By the time we get to the stage caution, he should get the lucky dog.
Get ready.
Back on the lead lap and be right back in this thing.
All right, man. The pace car is in. Green, green, green.
Chris Goins and Chris
Next car
Elliott
is
catching
the
up at the back of the
lead.
field.
Did a 36.
Like that.
229. You're in
Before
second.
turn 1.
To the inside, he'll tuck in. A huge jump. Don't know if that's just the advantage, but Keith Burnett appeared to be sleeping as the green came out. McCann takes the spot away. Move Ryan up to the third spot. Michael Tucker going to look to the inside. Keith Burnett trying to battle for the third position. On board with Keith Burnett.
You just hit the fastest lap.
Tucker still to the inside.
Clear now.
Millet is not liking this. I'm taking all air off of his spoiler.
See how hung out these race cars are. Keith Burnett got a lot of right turn in it. A little left to get in. Back to the power. Back to center. A little correction on exit. Might have a battle for the lead shaping up here.
I might have to pass him to Tucker's here. I've just been like riding. I wanted to loosen him up a little bit.
Looking back at the second place machine, the 3. Spartan Logistics LL.
I had an opportunity to pass last lap.
Challenging Millet for the race lead here at lap 11 down through turns 1 and 2. And with a run.
I could probably do it here. Tucker's not there.
And yet, Michael Tucker is closed in. No, he's right in the back bumper of Brian McCann, so McCann might have to go to defense here.
I am hurting his driving. I think Tucker's there. I'm gonna have to pass him in next opportunity.
Really backing up his entry at least into 3. Allows McCann to get awfully close to that back bumper. Still there. Might give him a little shot here in the dog leg.
Problem is that bottom side is gonna be horrendous if I try to pass him. That's why I was hoping to kind of single file it for a little while. Maybe I should just stay off of Zach.
Yeah.
Stop messing him up
Just about
so we can get a gap on Tucker.
maybe 25 yards sooner than the
That'd probably be the smart move.
very quick to react is to not drive over the 315. But what effectively that does is it allows Millet to get back to the gas just a tick sooner in the middle of the corner and drive all the way out. Gives him a little bit more speed down the backstretch.
Oh,
Outside.
See it here again into
he's too slow out of that turn.
make a liar out of me this time. Doesn't happen in this instance.
I couldn't check up that much.
I know, but look, real quick. I told you, he's up 8 spots now, just cracking the top 5.
That outside is dominant.
83.
All clear, all clear.
Brandon Meffer takes 5th away.
I knew that was probably going to be the case.
Side. Stay high. There's the car on the low side.
Top 6 kind of all together here. Matt Sisler in 7th. He's kind of watching. We'll see if he can work his way.
Stay high.
Become a
There's the
factor
car on the
within
low
these
side.
top 6 drivers. Meanwhile, behind them, Vincent Short, Shane Haas doing some battle. Shane Haas
Still
got to
there.
have one of the coolest paint schemes out here tonight with a Sharpie-themed paint job.
Really hurting my tire doing this.
And it's really cool, I got to say.
Stay high. There's
There
the
you
car
go.
on the low side. All clear, all clear.
That was probably a smart move. Plus, side by side, we ain't getting nowhere.
Haas taking a look at the number 23.
I got to cool that right front off.
Well, we got a battle for the 2nd spot going on as well. Michael Tucker to the inside of Ryan McCann. McCann off turn number 2.
It is hot.
Number 3, side by side with 39 of Mike Tucker. Tucker checks up, goes in behind.
The leader just did a 30.283.
Interesting fire suit, Mr. McCann.
He likes my fire suit. Yeah, there you go.
Meanwhile, Zach Millett enjoying the fact that Michael Tucker at least jumped in there and put a bit of a battle in the hands of the 3 of Brian McCann. Brian was right there to the back bumper of Millett for a handful of laps. Now he's about 2, maybe 3 tenths. Now it's shrinking, though.
Got to make a little adjustment.
Pace. He does continue to close back in on Zach Millett, but now that deficit now 1/4 second off turn 4, back to the stripe. Halfway through stage number 1, Millett continues to lead over Brian McCann, Michael Tucker, Keaton Burnett, and now Neil Quick in 5th. Neil, our biggest mover on the day to this point, up 8 positions from qualifying. Biggest mover in the other direction that's still on the lead lap, Chris Goins, down 6 positions after his incident on the racetrack with Joe Tucker. Tucker also down 6 positions, but running an 18th, 1 lap down, which he should get back here at the stage break. Car length between the 315 and the 3. Back straight away.
Zach's like, get off my spoiler.
Hang on to it, Keaton.
Vincent Short and Shane Haas continue to do battle, and Haas gets real loose there in the middle of 4. Loose in the dog leg as well, but he keeps his foot in and stays alongside of Vincent Short. Checks up, tucks back in behind.
The leader just did a 30.753.
Oh, another moment off turn 4, real loose for Haas. He saves it again. Got to be careful. That right rear is going to get hotter every time that happens, and it makes it more likely to continue. Shane Haas at the wheel. It's number 23 Sharpie machine. Trying it again, gets alongside, not quite all the way. Great battle still between these two. Unfortunately, they're losing touch with the rest of the field. Pretty much everybody from 7th on forward.
Kind of want to try that upper lane.
Gort maintains the position in the 8th spot over Shane Haas. Jesse Redding up into the 10th position, up 4 spots.
That was the wrong angle, but
reel him right in.
It lost grip.
Still think Shane is faster right now. Last lap, Haas was 100 of a second slower over Vincent Short. They both ran 31s. It was a 31.11 for Vince and a 31.12 for Shane Haas.
Appreciate it, Neil.
Millett continues to lead the field, just a 10th over Brian McCann. I think Shane's got to settle down here personally. Oh, he gets a piece of the wall in the backstretch, just trying to look for maybe the outside line around Vincent Short. Short's got that locked up. Shane drove it real hard down into 3 and 4, lets it drift up the racetrack for a run, but still just not quite enough. Gotta let those tires cool off. Back out front, meanwhile, Millett and McCann starting to check out from even Michael Tucker, Keaton Burnett, and now Brandon Mefford in the top 5. Wick has slipped back to the 7th position. On board with Brian McCann. Still trying to chase down and pass Zach Millett. Frankly, I think Brian may have the pace right now to make this move. If he were to get around, I think he can put some distance between himself and Millett. Last lap for McCann, a 30.98. Millett ran a 31.04.
I think I'm a little bit faster, but
Drivers with similar.
I doubt I can pass them.
The fastest lap to this point, 29.
We're too even.
It's 29.47. Both drivers running quicker than that.
He's got to make a mistake.
Conversation.
Otherwise, he's going to pull me on the outside line.
McCann's just messing with Millett or what. Still a car length and a half off the back bumper, but it seems like he can
outside line
back bumper whenever he pleases.
That sucked. That was a bad time to try it, but it still sucks.
Just or aggressive move for the race lead. Seems content to ride in behind the tire tracks of that 315 race car.
Now here will be the true test. Can I get back up to him?
Back to start finish. Two laps in here from Charlotte. Field already pretty well spread out. Catching some lap traffic now as Eddie Rose goes a lap down. That's going to put Eddie now, the first car, 1 lap down as we get close to the end of this stage. It's bad news for Joe Tucker as he's no longer the first car 1 lap down. Eddie Rose there, third in line behind the top 2. Joe Tucker still working the middle of the back straightaway. He's got a lot of work to do to catch Eddie Rose.
Yeah. That was an opportunity to catch him, but I was playing around. I was half a lane up.
Front that exchange.
Killing my right front.
McCann getting around the lap car of Eddie Rose.
I just wanted to see what it would do.
Distance between the two.
You got to stay on that bottom.
It's just a matter of they're so evenly matched right now that it just may be a matter of track position. The lead car having that clean air. That might be all that's keeping Millett out in front. And if these two were to switch positions, I think it'd be more of the same, except Millett would be the driver who's chasing.
Damn.
Michael Tucker in the 4th spot as Keith Burnett
It really kicks out.
jumps up into P3.
I tried to push it that time.
An outside pole,
If I get below him,
a little less aggressive
there's no way I'm going to be able to get on the throttle off a turn.
up the stage. Again, we got about 5 laps remaining before the green and white checkered flag flies.
Just like Steve said on the broadcast,
Trying to get that spot back.
I think we're in a track position situation here. This is going to be won or lost on pit road probably.
Still watching this battle between Burnett and Michael Tucker. Side by side they run. Now 3 wide with Mefford to the inside. Mefford goes way down. Burnett checks up as to not make contact. Smart move by Keith. Loses a couple of spots in the meantime, but we're far from this one being over. Real loose for Keith Burnett off turn 2. Gathers it up again. Michael Tucker catches the wall just a bit. That's going to slow his momentum into 3. Mefford's going to go to the outside. We're not able to do anything with it. Tuck's back in behind the 39 machine. Millet still leads. McCann second. Michael Tucker, as we watch, runs 3rd. Lap car of Benny Rose just ahead.
Damn, he checked up big there.
Mefford was coming with a big run. Don't know if he got into him or not.
I was going to maybe try to set up a pass on that one, but I don't know if that was an intentional check up or what, but threw me off.
Brandon Mefford, much faster it seems. Real loose for Michael Tucker off turn.
I didn't want to wreck him.
The battle rages down into turns 1 and 2. Side draft just a bit. Tucker back to the bottom. We'll see if he can hold it again. Remember, he got real loose on the exit of 4 the last time.
Caution is out. Caution is out. Line up single file. Pit road is closed.
Loose again, has to save it.
Catch the 315
Brian.
car.
Keaton stays tucked in. Millet still on front, 10th and a half.
Track position.
Over Brian McCann.
What sucks is we don't have the number of tires to get off strategy, so me and him is going to be on the same strategy
Nice job there, Michael.
Coming to start finish. This will
the
end.
entire race.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, get ready there, Vincent. So that was about 10, 15
Caution is out.
What have you got?
Stage 1 of 2 in the books. Zach Millet, your stage winner. Brian McCann, second. Michael Tucker,
Pit road
third.
now
Fourth
open.
was Brandon Mefford. Fifth, Matt Sisler.
At the 3.
Keaton,
Definitely looks like me and Zach, though. I think we had like 4 or 5 second gap on the rest of the field.
ninth. Jesse Redding. Shane Haas, 10th.
Thanks for not running me out of room there, Keaton. I saw my opportunity and I kind of had to go for it.
First round of pit stops going to be coming up here under the caution flag.
You're
As some
good.
drivers
Alex
had
Durrell.
seen pit lane here already. Drew Prowl, Chris Elliott, Chris Goins, Joe Tucker. That was all as a result of an early race incident
Box team 10.
that saw those drivers with damaged
5,
race cars.
3.
Everybody else stays
2,
out. See if
1.
they come down. I assume
Right
they're going to
here.
come down at minimum for fuel. Again, 2 sets over the wall. They may take that first set here. But maybe they don't. Maybe someone's brazen enough to try and save a set for later on.
All right, that's
banking
it.
that
Go.
we'll get a caution. Granted, the way this first stage went,
Be
I don't know if
mindful,
I'd
you
want
only
to
have
gamble
one
with
set of
that.
cars remaining. Line up single file.
field down pit lane. Everybody and their brother, maybe they're even
Good
the
job,
cousins, going to come down pit lane here.
Oh, yeah, 66.59. Wearing them things out.
Eddie Rose stays out on the racetrack. Joe Tucker also. And those drivers not on the lead lap.
Catch the 315 car.
Billet in the box, right side goes.
We got such a, me and Zach's got such a difference here. If it goes green,
Crew around to the left.
it really comes down to when you pit.
For Zach Millet. Ryan McCann, same story. He's down and away, but Millet wins the race off of pit road.
Would it be best to undercut to get track position?
We can get a word with
Don't
Zach
know.
Millet, pull him up into the broadcast booth. Get a word with our stage one winner, Zach Millet.
Yeah, get a word with him.
Got a copy?
Hey, Steve, how we doing?
We're doing good, Zach. Congratulations winning that first stage. It seemed pretty dominant, but it seemed like you had a tail pretty much that whole time. The three of Brian McCann not too far behind, a car length at best for the majority of that run. You guys have very similar pace. Is clean air really going to be that important the rest of this race?
Man, it seems like clean air is just key every race in these Gen 4 cars. I don't know, man. There's a couple times, with either lap traffic or what have you, I gave a little bit on Brian, and blink of an eye, he was right back to me. So I know draft is there too, but I think he's got some wicked pace. He just knows when to turn it on.
Almost seems like it could be even in dirty air where the car gets a little bit tight. That might be a bit of an advantage if you buzz the rear tires at any point. A lot of these guys handling a real loose on exit situation, if they're tied in behind a car, might seem to make it a little bit faster. Have you experienced any of that with maybe some lap traffic?
Yeah, a little bit. It doesn't take much to upset these cars, that's for sure. Whether a car ahead of you or even behind you, somebody gets right on your bumper, it upsets the car in every way. It gets you real loose. And with these back tires about 1,000 degrees, it doesn't make it any better.
All right, Zach. Well, congratulations again on the stage win. We'll let you get back after it. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, buddy.
My right front was actually hotter. Interesting.
So he gets ready to go back green.
They were worn less, but they were hotter.
For Brian McCann. Brandon Mefford, Michael Tucker, Matt Sisler will be your top five as we get ready to go back to green. Should get the one to go the next time. Fingers crossed on that.
All right, man, we're going green next time. Bye. All right, man, line up on the outside row now.
I could do them dirty on this start here.
I want to remind everybody, as we are still working this caution, we do have racing every other day of the week, not just Monday's coming up. It was supposed to be tomorrow. They pushed it out an extra week. That's okay. On January the 15th,
I think it'll be tough to do.
Series will be green on their late model stock season. That's going to kick off. That should be fun.
If I time it just right, there's a possibility, though.
This coming week. Monday again.
I'll have to see how I get the jump.
But
if I get the jump, I'll try it.
Daytona, the Thumbs Racing League, Davidson Builders Truck Series. Then the following day on Wednesday will be with the AMCO Transmissions Late Model Stock Tour. Also, Got
to be mindful of. I don't want to race Tucker either. Wearing my tires out like last time.
And Thursday we've got race number 2 of the season of the Lone Star Racing Cup Series, Season 3. We got Las Vegas for 125 laps. So lots of action this week. And then if you continue on to the 14th, we're back here at No Bull. We talked about that earlier in the broadcast. Race 2 of the playoffs out at Talladega.
Green, green, green. The leader just did a 35.57. Inside.
Did him dirty.
Still there. All clear, all clear.
Oh, that first lap grip.
Field formed up 2 by 2, which means we're going to go back racing here the next time across start finish. iRacing.com pace car. The Mustang about to pull left down pit road. Wait for Barney to wave the green.
Good job, man. You're in first.
Battle for the race lead to the outside. It's not much of a battle. A great restart for Brian McCann. He went round the outside on Zach Millett. Takes the top spot by a quarter second into turns 3 and 4. New leader off turn number 4, lap 46. It's Brian McCann. Shot out of a cannon. Puts 3/10 on Zach Millett right away. Millett's got to worry about Michael Tucker, who's got some pace here, especially on fresh tires. We'll see what the 315 has to defend against the 39 of Mike Tucker. Tucker's fast. He's right there, ready to make a move.
Flirting with that wall.
Very quickly here, as they've already put about a few seconds on the rest of the field. Millett working the high side here, trying to build a run off turn 2. McCann slams the door, but the run is still there. Millett's going to pick up a little draft as well off the 3, down into turns 3 and 4. We talked about how on old tires, maybe being behind a driver could actually provide some aero push, which, given the circumstances with much horsepower these race cars put down to the racetrack late in a run, that almost could be an advantage. Cars do tend to get loose at the end of the run. They're loose to begin with, they just get worse. Tucker drives it in deep there, right to the back bumper once again. Continue to watch this battle for the second spot between Michael Tucker and Zach Millett. Tucker looking to the outside, nothing doing there, pulls it hard back to the bottom, crosses up the lanes here. Now Millett still in front of the 39 down the back straightaway. This battling here between Millett and Tucker is allowing Brandon Mefford to slowly creep in. Mefford's still about 4 or 5 car lengths behind this duo. Turn number 4 again, Millett with the second position. Tucker all over him like a cheap suit. Right on board with Michael Tucker and see what it looks like from the driver's eye.
Are they too wide back there? What's going on?
Wiggle Tucker to the inside. Side by side for the second spot. Tucker goes low, Millett up top. Millett's going to have a big run out of turn number 2. Run prevails as Tucker has to tuck back in. Tucker going to try and change lanes here. Tucks back in again. Just trying to find a way around. Back and forth, back and forth. Look how much yaw these race cars run in. Sideways through almost the entire corner. Tucker drives it in deep again, closes to the back bumper.
One thing I didn't do is practice my pit, so oh boy.
Tucker's got the pace. He certainly does, especially on fresh tires. It's so enticing to just want to go. Problem is these cars make so much horsepower, you really have to be careful when you go and when you don't. Get those tires Just a little bit warm, they get angry, they're hard to calm down. Saw that at the end of the first stage, especially with the 39 up. Tucker was real out of shape a lot of the time. And there it is again, burning the right rear off, smoke pouring off that car. It's like bias ply days. I thought we went back in time 25, 30 years. Okay, I'm dating myself. It's even further than that. But nevertheless, Tucker doing a good job hanging onto that race car.
That sun
He's going to have to be careful here. Is that right?
in turn 3 and 4 is right where you have to concentrate the most.
We'll see if it happens again.
It messed me up that turn.
Tucker. A little loose on exit, not as bad as the smoke we saw a moment ago. Out front, Ryan McCann as he scrapes the wall on corner entry, just a tiny...
I didn't hit the wall.
Before he comes down into turns 1 and 2. He's enjoying a 1 second advantage over Zach Millett.
Right where that sun is at is where it'll kick out on you.
And Joe Tucker, I'm sure Michael Tucker we're doing. Millett can now refocus his efforts on reeling in the 3, but at this point it might just be a matter of let's just wait for the pit stop, see what you can gain on entry and exit, and go from there. Still back in third. Neil Quick, though, back into the 4th position. This is the highest I think we've seen him all day. Started back in the 13th spot, just now taking a position from Brandon Mefford. Quick and Mefford also both IROC Challenge drivers, so they're very accustomed to this race car after their season came to a close. Matt Sisler still running in the top 10 in 6th. Peyton Haas running in the 7th position, Drew Prail 8th. New colors on the Prail machine this week.
All right, man. Halfway this time.
Prail running a Grand Theft Auto paint scheme. Jesse Redding solidly within the top 10 still. Jesse also running a Dodge. Teammate Chris Goins in the 10th position. Still on a lead lap. Lucky enough not to sustain too much damage in that early race incident with Joe Tucker. Joe Quick, Brandon Mefford, and Matt Sisler. 4th, 5th, and 6th. Michael Tucker just ahead in the 3rd position, and I think he's going to fall into the clutches of Neil Quick before too long. Tucker may have overheated his tires just a bit too much trying to get around Zach Millett in that 2nd spot. Millett continues to drive away from the 39. Tucker continues to fall into the hands of the 2. On board with Michael Tucker. Neil Quick closing in.
Oh, it likes that. Wow. That guy's going to wreck in front of me.
Got one outside. You're clear high, clear high.
Battle continues. I think Tucker's holding up.
I couldn't try it again that time.
But you got to be careful trying to make that pass. With that said, though, we're going to step aside here, get our first HBR TV side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us, folks. You won't miss a moment of the action. We'll be back after this.
Chris is all up in that wall.
We were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Where's it going? Where's it going? Where's it going?
To help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in.
Yeah, one
I would
outside.
describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust,
clear
and
high,
he
clear
is
high.
just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been
All right.
generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Got my tire hot. Oh yeah, it really likes that. Interesting. It's going to be hard to describe. Let me see if I can figure out how to say it. I messed up that time. You put it on the right rear and you're to the right side of neutral on the steering wheel, and it'll just ride there. Like you wouldn't think it would. As long as you don't go too far.
Laps to go from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Brian McCann out in front of Zach Millett puts
I need to pay attention. I've just been kind of zoning out.
The 315. Fortunately, Keith Burnett has gone down a lap. Not sure what happened here with the 26.
I need a biggest gap as possible on Zach because he's going to undercut me, and then I want a tire difference on him.
Back in the 16th position.
Got one outside.
First car
clear,
one lap
clear.
down. If we get a caution, he could be back in this thing, but we would need that caution. Been clean and green for quite some time. We had
And right here is where I gained the most time on Zach.
And others. We've had one more caution for the stage break, and we've been green ever since.
It didn't like that. I bet passing Eddie there.
Chris Elliott in the fence.
Got my tires hot.
Gets it down off the safety barrier. Still trying to save it. Drives it to the inside of the racetrack. Scary moment there for the 29. You're so likely to come up the racetrack after trying to correct there on the back straightaway. He gets it done, keeps it out of traffic. He may be coming to pit road. It's Elliott having a moment there off turn 2. Keeps it on the apron even for the time being. Gets it back up on the racetrack. He's going to continue on. Stays away from pit lane.
Brian Rose.
Much has changed in this battle, though. Michael Tucker maintaining that third position. Brandon Meffert fourth. Matt Sisler fifth. Neil Quick shied away from the three here a bit as he runs in the 6th position. Again, I wouldn't count him out just yet. Neil Quick, very smart behind the wheel, especially as far as strategy is concerned. And I'm not even talking necessarily pit strategy, just about taking care
There goes a pitter.
of when to push.
76. Can they make it?
Tucker finally loses the position to Meffert. Meffert now up into the 3rd spot. Tucker trying to battle back.
Well, these tires are shot.
Forward to Matt Sisler. Right behind that battle between Tucker and Meffert. Getting on board with Matt Sisler, you can hear how just precise, how ginger Sisler is on the throttle. Middle of that corner, we'll take a listen again. Doesn't really get full throttle until he's back straightened out of the corner. We saw Mefford have a moment there. Got loose on corner exit of 2. It's going to open the door now. Exit of 4 for Mike Tucker. He's going to try and take that third spot back. Tucker gets it. He's clear. Back into the top 3. Pete Burnett making a pit stop under the green flag. Brian Rose now in the pits as well. Don't know if this is scheduled or not. Brian Rose looking for some sponsors. 15.07, 4 tires and fuel for Brian Rose. He's back in the action. Brian, a very late add here to the race. Trying to help out our numbers. Again, he's been effectively living in Hawaii for the better part of a few months. He's just recently come back home, stateside.
Have a slow car on the
We'll be
bottom.
seeing Brian Rose more frequently. Joe Tucker, Chris Elliott, both in pit lane. It's coming with about 40 laps to go. This could be a final stop for some of these drivers. Being the final stop, we're going to expect everybody to take 4 tires here. Brian McCann still continues to lead, and it was just as we suspected. We talked about it in that first stage, how McCann hung in right behind Zach Millett for the better part of that stage. Didn't make any moves to make the pass, though he did seem to be able to drive right to the back bumper at will. Now he's enjoying almost a full straightaway advantage over the 315. That clean air making a massive difference, but he has checked out. Last lap for McCann, 31.28 to Millett's 31.44.
It's getting hard to drive.
Backs it up again.
When's Zach going to pit?
Master McCann goes at 31.27. Millett picks it up at 31.
He's probably wondering the same thing about me.
Slower. Quick into pit lane. This would be our final round of pit stops. Again, the drivers had 2 sets of tires over the wall. They're going to take that final set here, as I think just about everybody took 4 during the stage caution. Right side's in the air for Neil Quick.
Probably wanting to do the opposite of whatever I do.
Quick down and away. 14.85 seconds. A good stop.
It ain't easy. But I'm pulling big time on him, so I'm staying out. I'd be willing to bet he's struggling too.
Inside. You have about 5 laps of fuel left. Stay high. There's the car on the low side.
And with
All
almost
clear,
4
all clear.
seconds. Bit of a cushion out front for the 3 of McCann. Now, if you're Zach Millett, I don't know. Do you take the chance here? Do you try and put 2 on? Do you try to go right sides open?
No, 2s would not work.
You know Millett can get in and out of pit lane in a hurry, but Brian McCann's no slouch with that either. But if McCann takes 4, do you take 2? You're the 315. If you're trying to go for a race win here, you just take right sides. I'm not sure how the car's going to handle on right sides only. It might make it dangerously loose. Maybe it makes it tight. I'm not sure.
You got 1 inside.
But it would get him some track position.
This guy's messed me up.
Keyword
Oh, he's messed me up big time.
Stay high.
lane before Brian McCann. Now, McCann continues to stretch that lead out.
All clear, all clear.
Let's just say it's a 14.5 second stop. That's going to be quick. That's a fast stop.
You got 1 inside.
But if Millett can save that time and make it a
This is not good.
right sides only, can he make up the difference?
He's got new tires. Come on.
McCann, if he comes down that same lap.
All
But
clear,
will
all
he be
clear.
able to maintain the pace out in front of McCann with just right sides? Remains to be seen. It almost worked the other night.
Oh, that hurt me.
Lap Series, which runs the next
We're
gen.
about to pit anyway.
Blaze took right sides, ended up finishing in second position, but was very close.
You have about 2 laps of fuel left.
And working through some lap traffic.
I guess I'll pit here.
Joe Tucker in the 13. Tucker drops it below the yellow line, or blue line in this case. Has to come up off the bottom and slips up the racetrack just a bit. Still side by side with the leader. Brian McCann just lets him go because McCann has a line that he just wants to run. Sense in fighting it with a lap car. Let him go around. Tucker's 2 laps down at this point. Let's just get one of those laps back.
3, 2, 1. Right here. Car 315 has taken the lead.
I'm pitting too, Matt. I guess we're all pitting then.
All right, that's it. Go.
And here he comes, Brian McCann down pit lane.
The rest of the race.
Will Millet come with him? Nope, stays out.
Yeah, clean track.
See what the 3 does here. Will it be 2 tires or 4? McCann into the pit box. Very clean entry. Right sides go in the air, so at least 2 tires to start. Sunoco Racing Fuel going in. Crew drops the jack. Round to the left side. Going to be 4 tires and fuel for Brian McCann. Drops the jack. A great stop. 15.25. Not as fast as we thought. Millet stays out 1 more lap. Now he's crossing his fingers for a caution. That's what he'd love to see, because then he could get get Brian McCann trapped a lap down. Millet stays out. I don't know how long you want to stay, though, because there is a pretty big disparity from old tires to new, as Millet is in fuel.
Damn, he's really trying to...
Which I don't think he
Really trying to trap me a lap down, isn't he?
Laps on the tank of fuel.
How did he have enough fuel?
Granted, there was a caution in that mix, but... Right now, it's Millet in short on a lap of their own, top 2. McCann shown as the 3rd place machine, but a lap down. I think Millet's got to come right now, because McCann is eating up track position every second he's out of the racetrack by comparison. Millet stay out, or does he come now?
All right, man. You're back in
Stays out. As it stands right now, Zach Millet, your race leader, on a lap to himself. Lap 92 of 120. See Brian McCann there closing in.
The car in front is pitting. The leader is pitting now.
It's going to go around the outside with ease on those fresh tires. You see how quickly he reeled in Zach and took the pass, took the position back. Now, Millet could be on this strategy as well. Stay out there, sacrifice the track position for the better tires later on in the race.
Yeah, but 3 lap tires.
Ever loving rear end off from here on.
I don't think that's a big enough difference.
But will he have enough time to reel Brian McCann back in with those fresher tires? McCann's pit stop coming at lap 88. And here comes Millet now, lap 93. So it's going to be 5 laps newer, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time. We're going to have to wait and find out. Millet all by his lonesome down pit road. Still the top 3 is Millet, McCann, Quick. Everybody else a lap down or more.
I mean, all I got to do is save right here.
Dreadfully slow pace down pit road.
Good job, man. Now you're the leader.
Millet into the box. Right side's in the air. McCann coming back to start finish. He's going to flash on by. There he goes. McCann retakes the top spot. Millet's still in the pits. He's going to have a lot of work to do with about 27 laps to go. Good pit stop, 14.6.
Interesting.
Millet much faster than Brian McCann, so he made up time there for sure.
Sorry if that was me, Mike.
McCann stop of 15.25. Millet is 14.62. Top 3 now, Brian McCann, Neil Quick, Zach Millet. Quick now is 4.3 seconds back from Brian McCann. 7 lap older tires than Bryant. Millet through that exchange. 13.6 seconds back.
Thank you, sir.
Now, we talked about that when McCann came down to pit lane, got his tires. Puts him on much better footing.
How did he have enough fuel? Because I had 2 laps when I went in. That's impressive. He went like 4 more.
That's why you see this big disparity.
Was he saving that entire time to do that? He had to have been.
15 seconds now. Millet does have a little bit fresher tires than McCann at this point, so
he thought about that early.
At what point do those tires equal out, where those lap times become consistently the same between McCann and Millet? Not to mention the fact that once Millet gets up there, he still has to get around Neil Quick.
I'm just babying the right rear right now. When I pitted, it was 61.45.
No close battles here in the top 3.
That's about as, I mean, I was running him hard, so that makes sense.
Befford in 4th, Sisler 5th, about 3-4 car lengths between the two.
Go high.
Starting to set here in Charlotte. Sisler, every lap, just starting to slowly chip away at Befford. Last lap for Sisler.
That was a bad turn.
10. Befford was a 30.24 this time.
You got to start using more brake.
29.9. Befford runs a 30.03. Very similar times, but you can see it on the racetrack. Sisler getting closer each and every lap. One thing to catch someone, it's another to pass them. We'll see if Sisler can get it done in that Kia Stinger. Yes, it's a Kia. I don't ask questions, folks. Ryan McCann stretching out his lead over Neil Quick now. It's 8.2 seconds. It was 5 seconds. Oh, a few laps ago, and Sisler real loose off turn 2. Keeps his foot in it, corrects it. Stays in the draft of the 83.
The hell?
Saved by Matt Sisler.
Damn, he just jerked right into the wall. That's a steering wheel malfunction, isn't it? That didn't look like a loose condition. That looks like a malfunction. If that's the case, is he going to stop on the track and throw a caution?
Continues to battle it. Up into the 8th spot. Joe Tucker still 5th.
Hopefully not. I don't want to lose this lead. Old Neil and Zach.
Tucker on the inside, not for position.
They want that win.
Oh, big trouble. Keith Burnett, hard impact the outside wall right in front of the leaders. Pulls it down the racetrack. We stay green for now.
Zach's back in 2nd.
Big hit for the 26. I hate to do it. I can't even click a button to rewind it. It happened that fast. Let's just do this and see what happened. Possibly overcorrected. Keith Burnett just a moment ago.
He's still going.
Save it, save it. Hard impact.
So maybe it was a correction.
Keeping that thing pinned on the wall there as the leaders go by. Great awareness for the 26. Keaton's going to roll it down pit lane here. No fast repair in the No Bull Racing Series, so his night could be done here.
Outside. All clear, all clear.
Meanwhile, Millet has gotten to caught and passed Neil Quick, but still 9.8 seconds the differential between himself and Brian McCann. Some work to do. Take a look at that pass for the 2nd position just a moment ago. You see Millet working the outside, had a big run. Power move around the 2 of Neil Quick to take the 2nd spot away. look at the differential in tires between the two, about 12 laps, and that's the biggest difference there. But Keith Burnett may have left pit lane. He's going to try and finish this one out. Every lap makes a difference. Every point matters at the end of the season.
Outside. Still there.
McMillan approaching teammate Brian
Stay low, there's
Rose.
a car on the high side. All clear, all clear. Got one outside. Stay low. Still there. You're clear high, clear high.
McCann working his way through some lap traffic as the 80 goes up the racetrack. Drew Corral still running in 10th. Would be the first car one lap.
I'm saving my right rear big time.
So Drew,
He's 7.5 seconds behind me.
recipient.
I'll let him get within like 3-4 seconds,
3 of Shane Haas might have got.
and then I'll go.
Well, I don't know if Drew just followed him in or what happened. Either way,
Give me enough buffer just in case if I make a mistake.
traffic. I'm sure he feels.
He's catching me about 3/10 every lap.
We'll lose Drew Corral again off turn number 2. These tires are getting worn. It's the battle now.
Oh, it ain't no way he's gonna get to 3 seconds.
Corral has it.
At 3/10, we got 10 laps to go.
Haas off turn 4. Haas in the 23 Sharpie machine trying.
So I'll just save big from here. Yeah, that's another 3/10 a lap.
Catches a piece of the wall, tucks back in, single file now, 3 car lengths back. The advantage for Corral, but loose again off 2, saves it. These guys are really having to work up
I could let him have half a second every lap.
on the racetrack.
10 to go.
Oh yeah, true, John.
And working the high line, going to try and build a run. You got to be careful
How's it going, John? It's been a while.
when you run that Larson line. 11 laps to go here from Charlotte.
How's another 3/10 lap?
Still here watching. We've got way more people watching than we do have likes. So if you haven't done it yet, before this one's over, click that like button in the stream on YouTube. It really does help us, the channel itself. It also helps the league, gets more eyeballs on everything, pushes the video, the stream out to wider audiences. Maybe some people that wouldn't necessarily know about HBR TV or the No Bull Race.
Well, thank you for hanging around, John. It's good to have you in here.
That like button if you're watching. It's free to do. We do appreciate that, and it helps us more than you know. 10 laps to go for Brian McCann as he's lapped up to the 9th position. Top 8 are on the lead lap. Chris Goins now the 41, the last car on the lead lap. Cristo Volano, thank you very much. Liked and shared as
I'm saving even bigger now, and he's only catching me by 2/10, so I think I got this one.
9 laps to go. Millet is catching Brian McCann, but I don't know if there's enough laps left. Last lap for Millet was a 30.75.
I mean, I'm saving
Quicker than Brian.
a ridiculous amount.
He does that every lap from here on in. He still won't be close enough. Said it a million times here. Follow the leader, you're going to follow the leader. Millet made sure his
That was 3/10.
from the leader. Tried something different. Doesn't look like it's going to pay off, but again, never know. We could see a caution here, and if that happens, that changes everything.
See, he's
Millet at 30.
heating his tires up trying to catch me, and he's sitting there watching that time click off, making him go even harder. I'm keeping my tires cool in case that caution comes out.
7 laps to go. Brian McCann's got some lap traffic out in front of him, not a ton. Still going to have to work his way through them once he gets there. If he gets there, though, he's not that far, not that close. He's almost a full straightaway behind the next car in line.
That was 3 tenths.
Here in Charlotte.
We're in a podium position.
That was another 3 tenths. I don't want to try it right now, but that 3 tenths. I don't know if I can.
Zach, I'll say hi.
I'm a little worried about that.
Nelson Rose says, is there any reason that I don't have an option for like?
I don't know if I could actually pick up 3 tenths what I'm running right now.
Maybe you don't. You're not logged in. You're just
Got one outside.
you're looking at YouTube as a random and not logged in under a Gmail account. I don't know if you can like it or not. That's my guess. Thanks for trying, though.
Still there. You're clear high. Clear high.
5 laps to go from Charlotte. Brian McCann still out in front. 5.6 seconds back to Zach Millett. That's a full straightaway plus. There it is. McCann just getting off turn 2 is, sorry, getting into turn 3 as Millett's getting out of turn 2. Let go.
I was passing somebody that was only 2 tenths there. I could probably outrun him now. I'm pretty sure I got 2 tenths in me.
That was min.
Chris Goins running back in the 8th position, still ahead of Brian McCann. Still on the lead lap. I don't know if McCann will get there in time to lap him or not. Well, Brian Rose back in pit lane. I don't know if he's calling it a night with 4 to go. It's only 4 more laps, Brian. Oh, he's going to take tires. Brian Rose just trying to get some extra seat time and helping us out with the car count.
Oh, it got tight.
2.5 to go. Brian McCann still out in front. Now the deficit less than 5 seconds, but unless something significant happens, Brian McCann may have this one wrapped up.
I just tried to give it a little bit more throttle there, and it did. I don't know about that 2 tenths I was talking about earlier.
And catching Larry Bruner here in the 35.
Don't matter, it's the white flag.
Lap and a half to go. And McCann can be really careful here and not have to worry too much about getting rid of almost 5 seconds on Millett.
Back there, Wataki.
Out of turn number 4. White flag in the air. Final lap for Brian
Good
McCann.
win, Brian.
I was running on 2.
Rigging on the back stretch.
Nice job, Brian.
Good race, Matt. Were you running low on fuel or something? Because you were keeping pace with me for a little
Into
bit.
turns 3 and 4 for the final time. McCann didn't have a greatest of qualifying runs from what we expect out of the 3, but it didn't take long to get him back out in front. At the stripe, checkered flag waves. Brian McCann wins it.
Hey, Mike, I have a question. Did you take 2 tires? Is that why you kind of like dropped back from both of us? Because you were right there with us on the start. That is what.
Let's see if I can do the Legends Oval.
Well, Mr. Millett.
Zach Millett finished in the 2nd spot. Matt Sisler jumped up to Pete.
Oh, the Legends Oval's closed. We'll just call it there. Let's go back and actually I got to join the room first.
He's going to do the burnout round Legend Oval. Hopefully doesn't blow motor.
Thank you, John.
Oh, there's a wall there anyway. That's no fun. That'll work.
Where's the room? Thank you for the like, John. There it is. Now we go back and watch.
Here as the sun is continuing to set here in Concord, North Carolina. We'll take a quick break
The
here.
pass for the win.
Finishers after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Oh, good stuff.
I got the podium for this car on the podium for once.
I was doing a caution dance that entire last run, Brian. Just praying.
I wasn't.
I knew he was hoping for one there, so I was up there saving big time.
I knew you were too. I watched your laps. I'm like, I think he's got 3 more tenths every lap at least.
I knew I had nothing. I was just trying to get third. Help that Tucker took 2 tires because that didn't work. And then I managed to get by Mefford.
Just yaw it right around the top.
Brian, do you think you could have sent it the high side on that first run to go around, or do you think it would have got pretty loose?
During the first 40 laps?
Yeah.
No, my tires were shot. I tried to, I think me and, I don't remember if it was Matt or somebody else, but we were side by side, and we were just stuck there. So I didn't even want to try to pass you.
Wouldn't have been me, Brian. That whole first run, I was at least 2 cars behind you.
Here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quick rush to force him off a little bit.
I was just trying to hold serve.
It's going to be side by side through turn 1. Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side.
I was willing it right there, too.
The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag.
Did I lift there any? I lifted some, about half throttle.
And didn't look back. Zach Millett finishes in the 2nd spot, but Brian McCann takes the checkered flag to kick off the playoffs. Brian, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
I do.
Brian, congratulations. We've talked a bunch in this season and others. You're always up here in this top 3 many times with a checkered flag in hand. Uncharacteristic qualifying effort for you, just inside the top 5, but very quickly after the stage, made your way around Zach Millett and never looked back, man. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, the qualifying, I come out of turn 4, I think, coming to the hot lap, and it was just an ice track, so I blew that second hot lap. That's why I was a little bit slow on the qualifying, but yeah, that put me back, 4th, 5th or something, and so it was going to be a struggle with whoever had to lead there, because that clean air was really nice, and it was hard to pass. I know that first 40 laps, just running behind Millett there, I felt like I was a little bit faster, and I was trying to line up a pass, but I was like, I don't think I could do it. So track position was really, really big there. And I think it was right after the stage, I just ripped it on the top side, and I didn't really lift too much, and I was willing to crap out of it, and it stuck. So that was the lucky moment for me there.
Well, we watched that first stage, and we were wondering, we did look at the lap times, and you were, I don't know, typically about half a tenth quicker than Millett each time, but just not enough to get around. We almost started to think that you were saying, I'm just going to ride here, and then I'll make my move once I get some fresh tires. Was that kind of the thought process in that first stage?
Yeah, and you might have to ask him, but I'm under the impression, me being so close to a spoiler, I think I was getting them a little loose, so I was trying to make him wear his right rear tire out a little bit more. That way, maybe I could have a tire advantage on him and make a pass late in the stage, but it never really panned out that way. So I just rode it behind him.
Well, nevertheless, it worked out in the end. The plan came together. You win the race here to start the playoffs. Congratulations. Next week, though, we go out to Talladega Super Speedway. Don't need to worry too much about tires. Saving fuel can be tricky. There's not impossible, but we'll see how that one goes next week. How do you feel about your chances out at the Super Speedway?
That's put some numbers in a hat and let everybody draw out. That's going to be the finishing position. So, those are, they're still fun races though, but so it'd be exciting to see what happens.
It's funny because a lot of the fast guys, Zach Millett, yourself, guys like David Bradford that used to run over in SCAR, probably still runs over in SCAR. They used to say the same thing. It's a crapshoot, doesn't take any talent, but more times than not, we kind of see the same handful of guys up towards the front each and every week at these super speedways. What is the trick to it? Is there a reason we see that? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, you're not driving your car, you're watching everybody else. So it's kind of like a game of chess, and you have to be looking for wrecks before they happen, and spotting the risk and staying out of the risk zone is gives you that upper hand.
Some definitely good insight there from Brian McCann. Brian, again, congratulations on the win here at Charlotte. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my family, you for doing the broadcast, great broadcast, league admins for putting this show on. I know we had a new race control tonight. Thanks. Big shout out to him. Everybody coming out to watch, and our sponsors and the drivers as well. Thank you.
Brian McCann, thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week.
Thanks. Let me see if I can see what Zach do that upper hand.
Some definitely good insight there from Brian McCann. Brian, again, congratulations on the win.
All right,
here
we'll see what Zach says.
Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my family, you for doing the broadcast, great broadcast, league admins for putting this show on. I know we had a new race control tonight. Thanks. Big shout out to him. Everybody coming out to watch, and our sponsors and the drivers as well. Thank you.
Brian McCann, thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week.
So he had to get off the throttle.
And your race winner here at Charlotte. We'll pull Zach Billett into the broadcast booth next.
I don't think he might have had been able to get a little bit more speed on entry, but exits were out.
Steve in the booth, you got me?
As soon as I had that nose on him, he was done.
Well, congratulations, a runner-up finish here at Charlotte. We were trying to figure out what the game plan was with you. You had a dominant first stage. You won the stage, but very quickly fell under attack from Brian McCann.
I did let up, Brandon.
Never looked back, but then it came down.
But what do you do? There's a 10-second gap there.
I think it was
I'm just picking.
One, if I remember correctly.
No, Zach, what, 6-7 lap newer tires? I don't know how he saved that much fuel, but
all in all,
if a caution came out, it was going to be a little tough.
I would kind of venture to guess, but it worked out relatively well. You still made your way back into the second spot, but you finished just.
We'll see what he says here.
As you were prior to the pit stop. What was the thought process in that strategy?
Yeah, the idea behind it kind of worked out perfectly. I couldn't match Brian's pace, kind of, mid stint and end of the stint. I don't know. I was about a half a tenth off him consistently at least. And Brian's one of the most consistent drivers out here, man. He just hits his mark every single lap. And that the first part of the race there, I really only stayed in front because it was a bear to pass anybody more than 20 laps in. It was almost impossible.
Yeah, me and Zach
to the high line, but
had it figured out.
On you. So
I noticed everybody else was dropping off.
I wanted it
was a right rear track, big time.
40 lap window where I was just hoping for a caution, and if one did come out, I would have been looking pretty good. And Brian being as good as he is, talking to him in the green room a little bit, he knew what I was doing, and towards the end he was starting to save his stuff just in case too. So yeah, hell of a job to him, man.
Well, we were talking to him too a bit in that first stage, how you were able to stay out in front of him. We kept watching the lap times. He was just, like you even said, about a half-tenth quicker just about every lap, even in that first stage where you still stayed out in front of him, but he couldn't make that pass. He did mention, though, that if he was able to get real close to your back bumper, he was kind of hoping to loosen you up and maybe burn that right rear off of your car. Did you feel any of that when he was there as far as aero loose was concerned?
Yeah, I mentioned it in the stream tonight a couple times. It was amazing. I mean, if you get up behind somebody,
so it was working.
Somebody gets up behind you, your car just gets so upset. It's incredible. And yeah, he was actually real close a couple times, and I did all I could to put some wheel into it, make sure she stayed on that line, because that's all he needed was just a little bit of light in there, and he would have taken it and won that stage. So I'm glad we got that stage. That was a good deal for us.
Well, great way to start the playoffs here. Next week we go to Talladega Super Speedway. I know it's certainly not your cup of tea. You like these intermediate tracks.
I could tell, right when I was on his bumper.
Better on the super speedways.
Yeah, he was. You could see his car yaw out more, so he was having to put more right-hand steering into it.
Man, it's always. I hate to say they're fun. They're pretty fun. I mean, if we're playoff racing's a little more nerve-wracking, it makes it a little less fun. But we'll see. We're going to put some practice in this week because bump drafting with these Gen 4 cars is just.
I kind of hate that the track didn't change any. It was a single line track all night.
And see what it looks like and go for it.
Scary, but not impossible.
What's the next one? Is it Indy? No, Talladega. Talladega, then Indy. Indy's going to be fun.
Your sponsors and get out of here.
That's a multi-group track.
HPR TV, Track Bar Media, HPRShops.com, Castle Products. I got to thank Noble, all the admins behind the scenes that make this possible. And
yeah, we raced there last week, and the outside line was actually dominant through part of the race.
Zach Millett, your runner-up here at Charlotte. Next, we're going to talk to, I assume.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. The outside line at Indy being dominant.
So we can find him here, pull him up into the HBR TV broadcast booth. It's Matt Sisler, driver of the number 93. Looks like the podium finish, Apex Tech Racing Kia Stinger. Matt, you got us?
Yes, I do, Steve. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you, Matt. Congratulations. A top 3 finish here at Charlotte, and you worked every single lap to get it here. Started 7th, get into the top 3. Tell us about your race, man.
I mean, those first,
All right, John, take it easy.
just like, it's just a feeling out process, and watching, everybody trying to learn and see where everybody's doing and kind of looking and seeing what, really trying to look a little bit further from where I was looking at the 3 and the 315. Those two I knew were going to be the class of the field, and spoiler, they were. And I was just like, I knew Mike Tucker was going to run hard early and fade, and you saw that, and there was that log jam back there. So it was like, got to the end of the stage, and I knew I was a little quicker, and I thought, okay, I think I can get them, but what if I make the move and it happens now, Like, we don't have spare cars in Noble, so not at this track, but so I just I got the run on Keaton and got on his outside and got by him, and then I knew I could just kind of settle in behind Mike and Brandon, let them fight it out, and then got to the pit stops clean. And I think Mike said he took 2 tires, Michael Tucker, and I think that's why he dropped off. And I give Neil quick credit. He played the strategy. He played a really good strategy. If the caution had come out, we all would have been in trouble.
If you're still here, Brandon, I'm going to critique your driving.
He played one end of the spectrum, and then Zach, I know Tuss talked to you, he played the other end of it, trying to stay out as long as possible. But once we got by Neil, like, I was willing to work with Brandon, get up to Neil, and then once we passed Neil, then we could go at it. And it just worked out well that, our podium finish Kia Stinger was, it was good pretty much everywhere as long as I could balance the throttles. All the way through the corner and not get the car loose on exit.
I don't know if you did this the whole time, but that's way too high or late entry.
Tire wear, no real handling issues the whole race. So, probably the type of run you want to have to start the playoffs for us, especially with so many of us in the playoff standings being even at the drop of the green tonight. You had to play the points, and luckily got some stage points and managed to get 3rd.
Well, to quote our old buddy DW, sounds like a little bit of co-opetition out there. You working together with some guys that aren't technically teammates.
You got to start turning in earlier.
Eventually, you get here in that 3rd position at Charlotte. I do need
a whole different line,
and it's the first opportunity that I really had to ask it on air. At least is
put it in a turn and keep it neutral. You don't want to.
The Kia Stinger is actually something.
I don't really see your wheel grinding, but.
That I've liked it since it came out in 2018, and it was kind of a car that, like, if I could get, it was.
I would just say overall turning earlier.
I wanted to get. I've loved the styling of it, like in real life, and
because you're right, you're
shortly before everything kind of went haywire in my personal life.
It's killing that right front.
Prior to that, I actually leased a Kia Stinger in real life, so when that happened, and what happened, my dad worked for Chrysler, so I had Dodge on the car, and with the falling out there, it was like, what, this is the time to just completely revamp it. And
that's the problem if you.
So I was like, all right,
whatever you do on that right front determines.
I thought it was just funny considering that.
If it snaps or not, and that's the worst thing for it to do that snap like you're talking about.
And I went, yeah, I knew that was coming from somebody.
Well, you made it work. You put it here in the top 3, so that's you're getting some airtime, man. I'm glad to see it, man. Congratulations on a 3rd place finish. Moving into Talladega next week, we talk about co-opetition. There's going to be a lot of that. You're going to need to have some dancing partners next week out at Talladega. How do you feel about your odds next week?
I mean, we had a fast car at Daytona. The problem was we kind of got trapped back before the end of this. We got trapped behind. You
were running a whole different steering ratio too, wasn't you?
We didn't really. our Celsius Stinger at the time.
Were you on 8-1?
Couldn't show what we could do because we were trapped in about 16th or 17th.
You wasn't turning that wheel much at all.
You know, I was playing the Dale Jarrett card and kind of just hang back, wait for the chaos, and you know, we ended up 5th. So, you know, I like that. You know, it's a crapshoot going into Talladega. It's any plate track it is, and you know, if we find ourselves, you know, I'm just going to try to put the car in the good spot at the end of the race. You know, I have won races in the past.
10 shouldn't be bad.
You know,
It just looked like maybe you were on an 8.
You know, gotten into it. They've racked it. I managed to skate through.
I was on 12, but
come out the other side and get wins. So
10 or 12s.
We'll just have.
I think you could have.
It's all about.
I don't think it makes that much of a difference over 10 or 12.
A track for a reason, and you know, we'll just hopefully be able to at least keep all 4
I did qualifying on 10.
here at the end. That'll probably be the main goal, and then anything else, you know, in the top 10 after would probably be a bonus.
Well, fair enough, Matt. Again, congratulations. A solid top 3 here at Charlotte. Wish you the best of luck next week. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Well, obviously our primary sponsor for the car tonight, Steve, the podiumfinish.net.
And we're actually burning the right front here. Let me go later in the race.
Motorsports content. They do a fantastic job over there, and I'm honored that my buddy Rob, who runs that, was able to let me put this on our car and run it.
I started doing like half a lane up and then going down to try to get a straighter line off a turn. That seemed to help.
He's the whiz with this stuff. Apex Tech Racing Supply, Tire Pros, Celsius. Probably walk. Yeah, I sound like I'm extremely hyper at the moment. TPI, UNOH, which is my paint designer school. Proud to have them on board, and Ugly Oranges, obviously. Everybody at Noble.
Yeah, these cars like almost every track they like early turn in.
It's always a pleasure. And
damn, you was out there hot or ice tracking it.
93 Kia before the season's out.
Michael was right on your bumper.
Matt Sisler, your 3rd place finisher here at Charlotte, putting the podium finish Kia Stinger on the podium.
I don't know. I did a burnout.
Next week, Matt, thanks for talking to us.
Appreciate it.
75 on the front, but burnout on the rear.
All right. Great.
The last run during the race, I said it on the stream. I don't remember. It was 45 on the right rear and
Brian McCann,
60 something maybe on the right front.
4th place finisher was Brandon Mefford. Neil Quick was 5th. Michael Tucker came home in the 6th position. Jesse Redding was 7th. Chris Goins brought it home in the 8th spot after an early incident, stayed on the lead lap. Great job at not quitting.
I just remember 45 on the right rear.
Giving up and finishes in the top 10. The 41 at Chris Goins with Popple Pro on board. Nice job. Vincent Short.
What was yours?
Top 10 in the 9th spot. Drew Prowl was 10th. Doug Wysocki 11th. Shane Haas finishes 12th. Larry Bruner came home.
It's not
spot.
too far off.
14th. Brian Rose on a lap.
You may have went in earlier than me too. I went in.
For him, he was fast early. He finishes in the 16th spot. Eddie Rose was 17th.
What lap did you pit on?
Elliott finished in the 18th position, 48 laps down. Also,
you pitted. No, same lap I did.
Caution. Thank you guys all for tuning in here in the stream chat. We really do appreciate that. It's a lot of fun when you guys are going back and forth in here.
I guess I'm out. See everybody at Talladega next week.
Again, Sunday. We've got all sorts of action here at HBR TV. Find us at hbrtv1.com. We'll get the live link posted up there as well. And then if you haven't already done so, please like the stream, youtube.com/@symbol HBR TV and the number 1. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the push to 1,000 subscribers this year.
Yeah, man, have a good one.
We just gone over 700.